glasses, I can't see, I have old eyes. My name is K.S. Sharman. I worked for the IRS for over 2 decades in tax-exempt government entities in the examination division as a senior exempt organization agent. During my career, I have audited over 600 organizations and was responsible for the review of activities, reporting, records, and compliance. I've spent over 50 hours reviewing the published records of our HOA and the CDD. Based on my initial findings, I've determined the current board needs to be replaced, and I had the knowledge, skills, and abilities to accomplish this task. That's one of the main reasons I'm running for the board. My efforts will ensure full transparency. I'm nervous as heck, so you'll have to forgive me. Okay, my efforts will be to ensure full transparency by posting our requests for bids online, hoping that we'll get input from our members because we have a lot of talent out here, and I'd like to see some participation in what we need in our bids. When the bids come in, I want to see them posted online on our own website that we own, not a management company. I want to make sure that all the information brought before the board is open to the floor. So I want to put our meetings online and have like a go-to meeting where you can participate in our meetings, whether you're actually present here or you're traveling like most of us do for business, or we're just busy with our families. So this way, you don't physically have to be here. You'll be able to vote online. You'll be able to let us know what's going on. I don't even vote, I misspoke. You'll be able to submit questions when we open the floor. You'll have all the documents and records available. And then before we take a vote, we'll close the floor for questions and then we'll vote, not the other way around, where we just come in, say what we're going to do, vote, and then open the floor for questions. That's a big one for me. In addition to that, I will ensure that our budgets are representative of the expected cost of operation. I will ensure only necessary and ordinary services for our amenities are included in our budget. Income from all sources will be used to determine the total amount of our dues based on our needs and not those that other communities charge. We're a very unique community here and we have unique needs. So I believe that our budget and our dues should be based on us alone, not comparatively. I will ensure that all cameras are open to residents 24/7. That way everybody can see what's going on. My goals for the additional goal that I have for the community is to have a community without signs, without sheds. I want to see our hot tub heated. I want to see concierge hours for our gym and pool area. I want the speed bumps removed, and the front gates open. I want better landscaping, property management, and our vendors to put customer service back into the vocabulary. I will ensure that any damages caused by HOA vendors are HOA's responsibility, and we will hold them responsible to ensure the homeowners are totally satisfied before we close our work orders. What I'm asking for is for your support to help bring the necessary changes to bring our organization into compliance. I think that's it. Thank you. Oh, please go.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Here.
This is the one I want to see.
Okay, that's fine.
Gotta watch me.
Correct, Shaw. Here.
Well, I'm a current board member and I'm a retired forensic chemist from NYPD. My last year motto is the same. I'm going to crack down on deadbeats. We brought 14 to 15% to 10% right now. My goal is to make it 0%. Everybody should pay, and I'm not going to carry any deadbeats on my back. And I worked on a mailbox committee. I worked before that on a violation committee, and I would like to continue to work. I'm so glad that so many people are interested to run. Beautiful. Come on in and give your expertise. But we as a board member, we tried our best to satisfy everybody. And you know, you can't satisfy everybody. Even the new board member, if they are dreaming about satisfying everybody, then I think they should wake up and smell coffee. Okay. It is very difficult to satisfy everybody. We tried our best. If you didn't like it, replace us. Let's see how the new people work. We tried, as Matt said, we changed the landscaping contract. And we tried to separate the irrigation and the fertilizers. So we are trying to satisfy majority of the people. There will be few minority will be always upset. Either we go left or right. So we have to look for the majority of the community people. And again, whether you elect me or not, I'm going after the deadbeats to make it 0%, 0% deadbeats. I don't like anybody not paying and then enjoying and riding on the back of others. Thank you.
Francine's from
That's fine. I don't know how to follow him. That's hard to follow you.
Hey,
Well, hi, everybody. I probably am the newest person in the community trying to get onto the board. We moved here in July. And within, I think, 2 months, I got on the landscape committee. I came from another HOA in Pennsylvania where I started out as a member-in-large, then became the treasurer, and the last few years I was president of our board in Pennsylvania. The way I operate, I mean, an HOA and a community is always in process. It's always changing. And my view is more interpersonal. I come from a background of counseling and mediation. So that was my career. And plus as an educator. So what I want to do is not only all these things everybody's saying, they are wonderful. And those are the fiscal part of the community. But an example I want to give you, when we moved in, we have a little dog, and we walked our dog, a couple times a day. Everybody that we met, we said hello and introduced ourselves. And the majority of the people we met were shocked that we did anything like this. I think that the community, as well as getting all of the financial needs, in check, it also needs to, I think, come together as a community, much more than it already has. And my strengths, communication and interpersonal skills, I want to make sure that everybody in the community feels welcome, feels listened to, and everybody said wonderful things. The website is evolving and getting better for communication. So my biggest goal, I think, is really to start having things to get the community come together and listen to each other. Then also, I know that we need a budget that meets everybody's needs. So we have to listen to everybody should have input, and then according to the needs and wants of the community, we really need as a board to listen to that and then make sure that we follow what they want within fiscal responsibility. Because we know there's only so much money to go around. And that's pretty much what I want to do. All right, thank you.
Last but not least, Daniel Thomas.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming. I have a write-up bio if you want to take it after this. I have extra copy if you want to, but it's going to basically summarize what I'm going to cover here. Can everybody hear me? Okay. And I'll speak a little louder. I agree with a lot of the things you've heard tonight, and I'm not going to repeat them, but one of the important things that I think is important is following on what Francine said. There's a lot of unhappiness in this neighborhood for some reason, and I see everybody fighting against each other and making fun of the current board and saying the current board's not doing certain things. At the end of the day, this is about customer service. As a board member, as a prospective board member, my job is to work for you and to represent my constituents, right? And it's not for me to make decisions without doing my homework, without feeling like I've answered everybody's questions and done a reasonable job. And then in an open, transparent meeting, having discussion that's fruitful, gives everybody a chance to comment, and then we all make decisions. You know, the board makes the decision, but we need to represent you, okay? So I agree with what KS was talking about, putting these meetings on the web. I mean, I'm a lawyer by trade. When I look at a CLE, I can watch things on the web, and I can type in questions and participate. I may not be able to vote, but I can watch what's going on. I mean, I've got two young kids. I'm a lawyer. I work late hours, but I would watch the meeting from my office if I'm working late and I wanted to see what was going on and there were issues that were important to me. So I think I think the website is evolving. I think we're evolving as a board. I think improvement is needed, but customer service is really important. And I look at it because that's what I do for a living. I've got clients that I serve, right? The other thing that's important is we have to look at every single contract we have. Every time a renewal comes up, we have committees. We look to those committees. Committees make recommendations, and you know, you've got to have good reason not to follow that committee's recommendation because you've entrusted those people that aren't on the board to do their homework, and they spend long hours doing it, and everybody's volunteering. Nobody's here getting paid, okay? The other thing is that you know, there's issues that have been discussed, I know, with the current board and whether we're hiring people that live here. You know, none of that matters. What matters is good business judgment, okay? That's what I'm going to bring to the board. The other things that I think are important, you know, in terms of input before vote, I think that's really important. That's a rule that the board can change. The board can decide the rules and how we want to run meetings. And if we want comment before we vote, we need to do that instead of the other way around. There are things that can be changed. You know, I'm just excited that there are more people getting involved because that's what this is about. You know, like a lot of people that are up here, I don't really have the time to be doing this, but I need to be doing it. And I'm doing it because I care about this community. I've lived here since 2012. I know there's a lot of people that live around me that I talk to that say, why is this happening? Why is this not happening? And nobody has the answers. And, you know, we do the best that we can. I know the current board, there's a lot of issues to deal with, and they do the best they can. But I think that with my background, my, you know, legal background, my business background, I've been on nonprofit boards before. I think that I can bring something to the table that will be helpful. And that's why I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.
Okay, that actually went faster than I expected, so I think we're doing good. I think a couple themes that we touched on, and before we open the questions and answers, civility probably being one of the most prevalent things. The other thing that I also want to say is harmony within the community is something that I think is an ongoing process that needs to be worked on. And then the financial concerns really will follow it as it moves along. So at this point in time, what I'd like to do is, and I'll just cover up the list, is we're going to allow each owner who has asked, put on their list on his name, to ask 2 questions, and then I'll go to the next person, and after we run through this list, if we still have individuals who have questions, we'll open it up from the floor. Anita, you were the first on the list.
You say I get 2 questions?
Well, is it 2 questions for each candidate or 2 questions? I think it's 2 questions for whatever candidate. Two questions, and you can ask any candidate you want.
Michael, I would have 1 question, somebody else could have questions for the same candidate, no?
Okay, all right.
Okay. In an email from November 14th from the group that called themselves a team, that were running as a slate, actually, I'm going to ask you this question, Dan. Okay. I could have picked anybody on it, actually, but the statement was, quote, "We are going to open all camera feeds and broadcast 24/7. Viewing will be for owners in good standing only," end quote. While Florida law may be fuzzy on this issue, it certainly raises privacy issues. I want to know, do you want your wife in her bikini having people come in and look at it? Do you want people looking at your children? Do you want to have them coming in and saying, I'm in good standing, I want to see the party that was here the other night? That's what I would like to know. What do you mean by opening it 24/7 for good?
Sure. I mean, I can only answer the question that was posed because I didn't write the email. But I think it comes back to what I said before, which is the meetings are happening on Wednesdays at 7 p.m., which isn't convenient for everybody. I want to open that up. I mean, I would agree with what was written in terms of putting the meetings on the website and allowing people to watch this. Well, I'm going to answer your question. Okay? You want my position? I'll tell you my answer. My answer is these meetings need to be open to everybody. If you can't make it to the meeting, you should be able to watch it. And you can go onto the website, you can log in. We have passwords and things like that that you can log in and watch. That's how we would police who's in good standing. You know, I think we could easily police that through technology, through IT, to make sure that the people that are watching the meetings are people that are in good standing. The other thing is that there's an issue with renters getting involved in meetings. You know, it's a touchy subject. The bottom line is you know, renters or tenants, if they're in good standing with the person they're renting from and they're a seasonal renter, you know, our bylaws allow that. But if it's a rental property that just keeps turning over and over, I can understand why people will get tired of that person, if they're a renter in the community, coming in and acting as though they're an owner.
So you're not talking about people coming in
respect to
looking at the
transparency.
surveillance camera?
No, I'm not. Absolutely not. And from my opinion, absolutely not. I didn't write the email.
No, this is an open dialogue.
Right. Yeah. So let me. I don't have personal knowledge of what was written in that email, but to the extent that somebody's going to get on a camera that's in this clubhouse and have access to that, no, it's for the meetings. That would be my position.
Okay.
So
So your
hopefully that
position
answers
is the surveillance cameras would not be open to everybody.
That's dangerous.
I'm just trying to condense it.
I think
And
that's
then the
dangerous.
meeting should be open to everyone. Okay,
Absolutely.
fine.
Yes.
The next
Does that answer
questionnaire,
your question?
yes, the next questionnaire is Russ Warnett. Russ?
I have a question for Francine. Welcome to the community, first of all. Welcome to the community.
Thank you.
With your experience on other HOA boards and other boards that you served on, what are your unique strengths that you will bring to the board?
Well, first of all, I'm a good communicator, a good listener. I have a lot of experience I was treasurer for several years, president for several years. But I think as far as my own personal things, I am calm. I am as far from a type A personality that you can think of, and if you don't know what type A personality is, those real nervous people. Well, that's important when you're heading a meeting. Also, because I'm new to this community, I have fresh eyes and fresh ears. I am totally unbiased to what has gone on here before, so that I can bring a view and look at everything without any preconceived kind of notions. And that's the way I'm anyway. As a counselor, you have to be able to do that. You cannot take sides. You have to be able to really just look at the facts, look at the feelings, look at what the needs and the wants are, and then, you know, with the group, I'm as much of a group worker, I guess, as you can be. So, which I think, member of a board and part of the community, you really have to be. I hope that answered your question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next questionnaire is William Barr. I was going to ruin that one.
My question is actually a two-part question, depending on how you answer it, and that is to the current members of the board that are representing. There's what, 4 of you that are actually here. And the question is, we have never had a quorum since this neighborhood's been established. So the question is specific. If we do not have a quorum, will you, as a board member, decide to adjourn the meeting until we do have a quorum? If not, why not? And why are we not going to our attorney, having them go to court and intervene and get a court order to lower a threshold from the amount of proxies that we need to get for them? Because if it's not working, a court can come in and say, you don't have a quorum, it's too many people aren't showing up, because you guys should be elected, not appointed, and something needs to happen. So the question is, will you ask for an adjournment? If no,